What's good, guys? It's Skur. Today I'll be teaching you everything you need to know about the bloxd.io tier testing system. If you like videos like this, make sure to double check and make sure you're subscribed because I got a lot more of these coming. I'm not here to waste any more of your time, so let's get right into it. Have you ever seen a player in lobbies who brags to be high tier 1 or low tier 1 and wonder, what does that even mean? Some of these players may be very good, but rarely is it the tier that they actually deserve. However, they all have one singular tier in common. Low tier bald. First of all, let's start with the basics. What are tiers? To put it simply, tiers are a way of ranking a player's skill and technical ability in bloxd.io. These tiers range from low tier 5 at the very bottom and high tier 1 at the very top. These areas are pretty broad and not very well defined, but I'll try to describe them the best I can. Let's take a look at what some of these tiers may look like. At the bottom, we have the beginner stage, which is low tier 5 to high tier 5. In this stage, players are beginning to understand the game and its physics and movements. They do not have much skill or game sense regarding PvP, Bed Wars, Sky Wars, and Pirates. Players in this stage have a hard time grasping the concept of bridging, aiming, and strategic movement. As they progress through the game in this stage, they'll find basic understanding of how the game works. In our next stage, we have the improvement stage, which is low tier 4 to high tier 4. I believe this is where the majority of bloxd.io players fall at the moment. On the low end of this stage, players may struggle with basic strategies, but they will know about them and are working to get better at them. On the high end, players can build decent bridges and have a basic grasp of PvP tactics. They still struggle in fights against the majority of players. In the middle, we have the grind stage, which is low tier 3 to high tier 3. In this stage, the player is finally comfortable with bloxd.io's movement and strategies. These players can land decent combos, have good aim, and understand advanced mechanics like strafing and using their surroundings. They might struggle against top tier players, but they can definitely hold their own in most fights. Also, just a side note, I think the main thing that separates tier 3 and tier 2 is their technical awareness and unpredictability. These two things often are learned with playtime and muscle memory. As we near the top of the spectrum, we have the elite stage, which is low tier 2 to high tier 2. These players are the majority of content creators and skilled players in bloxd.io. These players have excellent movement and obvious game sense. They are able to use the game to their benefit and compete with some of the highest players in the game. It is this stage in bloxd.io that technical ability becomes very important. At the very top, we have the legend stage, which is low tier 1 to high tier 1. On the low end, players can consistently be elite players and have most technical aspects of the game down. They know their game mode like the back of their hand and can beat most players in whatever category they're in. On the high end, it gets a little fuzzy. There are not many players that the Blox community considers to be high tier 1, and this is because the amount of consistency in mechanics and unpredictability needs to be incredibly consistent to beat top players and to be considered to be the best in the game. To be perfectly honest, I don't consider any one player at the moment to have this tier. bloxd.io has many players that are very good, but anybody that is high tier 1 has usually been considered to be a hacker. I believe it's possible to achieve this without hacking, but it's extremely difficult and requires insane amounts of time and effort. Let me know in the comments if there are any players considered to be high tier 1 by the Blox community. I recently got tier tested so I can see my starting place on this journey to become better at bloxd.io.
GG. 4! Oh! Close. Come on, bro. Oh my. Go with luck, but it didn't come in. Whatever. Steven, come on. Yeah. It's 4-3, bro. 30. Ah.
After an intense battle of Soka, I received the tier High-Low Tier 2. Wait, what the whoop water? You can't be high and low, stupid. That defies the laws of America. Basically, when a tier tester decides to put high, low, or mid at the beginning of your tier, they believe it needs clarification that you're closer to one tier than another. This honestly was better than I expected to get, and it makes sense because I feel to be better than the majority of players, but I also consider myself worse than elite players like Catboy and bloxd Mayhem. I also got tier tested for Bedwars, Skywars, and Pirates, but I didn't record because I felt like that would make the video too long. I also wanted to be able to play the best I can because I can play better when my computer's not lagging for my recording. Anyway, I'll put the tiers that I got on the screen now. I'm actually pretty proud of these tiers, and it's good to see my starting place so I can know what I need to improve on as well as teach you guys. My next videos are going to be based on PvP just because it's a really good skill to have for all these other game modes. Anyways guys, that'll be the end of this video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button down below if you want to see more content like this. It really helps me out a ton, and it also helps you guys stay updated with this series. Okay, bye.